Hello you guys, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. So based off some feedback that I received, I did want to give you guys some like a quick little video of some tips, some recommendations on how to maintain a healthy female group, a healthy female circle, and all of those other things. So for those who do not know me, I have not always had a female group. I actually didn't really too much deal with females before, just because it was always some catty nonsense, and I just felt like we didn't see things the same. But I have grown, I have matured, and I am at a much better place now. My first tip or recommendation would be to know what kind of group you're going into and know the kind of people that you're going to be dealing with, and determine if that's something that you fit into or something that you want to commit to. And when I say that, what I mean is, don't go into a group of women who are working on businesses and building their empire and financial stability, and you know that you don't care about those things, because you guys aren't equally yoked. There aren't too many conversations that you all can have if you know that this is a group that they like to drink and to party and to go to clubs and like to sit around and talk about, I don't know, gossip, talk about other people, talk about a whole bunch of things that aren't really feeding you as a person. And you know that that's not your kind of people or the type of stuff that you're into, then I say don't waste your time going into that group. And also, if you're going into a group, know what it is that you're bringing to that group. If you're going into a business group, make sure that you have something to bring to the table. Make sure that you have something that you can add to the conversation, because what you don't want to happen is you guys are out. You guys are out and you don't have anything to say, because then you're going to start feeling left out. You're going to feel like you're not a part of this, you're not accepted, or whatever the case is. My next tip and recommendation would be to definitely try to understand everyone, because you're going to run into a lot of different types of personalities. You're going to have people that maybe are more vocal than others, who maybe come off a little more, I don't know, a little more, I don't know. Basically, you're going to run into people that are not exactly like you. And if you are going to maintain this group and this circle, then you have to know and understand that everybody thinks differently. Everybody communicates differently. Everybody's love language is different. Everybody is going to be different and unique in their own way. So like in my friend group, we have people who are a lot more affectionate than others. We have people that are a lot more private than others. We have people that come off a little abrasive compared to everyone else. We have people who, I don't know, we have a good variety and a good mix, and a lot of that will seem like things that will cause conflict, but they don't, because we are all mature enough to understand that we communicate differently, and so we don't take things personally. We don't go into it like, oh, why she say that? Why she say this? Why she do this? And so that's an important part going into a friend circle, or maintaining a friend circle that you're already in, because you do have to understand that everyone is different, like I said. Which leads me into my next tip or recommendation, which is to not be in competition. Stop competing with people. They are in their own lane. You are in your own lane. If you notice that they're competing with you or you're competing with them, then fall back, like step out of that, because you need to be in a group with people that make you look in the mirror and want to do better in your own life, but not in competition mindset. Like, don't be being catty, like, oh, I can't believe she wore that. Oh, I thought we was dressing down today. Oh, I thought this. Give your compliment and keep it moving. Like, be able to pat your sister on the back, congratulate her on her win, help her reach her next win, allow her to be a part of celebrating your win. But it's no need in competing and competition, because it's enough out here in this world for everybody to eat. Okay, so be mindful of that. I also would say, to my next tip or recommendation would be to keep the lines of communication very open. Once you do that and get to a place to where you can address how you feel, and you can address things that maybe you want the group to do, also be open to that with other people. Don't be so combative. Don't be confrontational. in some situations you can't necessarily avoid confrontation, but you have to keep in mind, like, is this someone who I want to continue to have in my life, or is this someone who I could do without? If you want to keep this person in your life, then you do have to get to a point of stepping outside of yourself and saying, you know what, let me see where you're coming from, and understand that once you're an adult, you got to grow up. You have to be mature. You have to get out of that mindset that, like, you made me mad, so we not really friends. No real friendship has gone unscathed. And when I say that, what I'm saying is that if it's a true friendship, you've been through something. You've had times where maybe she said something to you that you didn't necessarily like, or it came off in a different kind of way than what she meant for it to come off in. Maybe you've done something to her and you didn't really notice that you upset her. But every real friendship relationship goes through something, and if it hasn't, then I'm telling you right now, it's coming. And if it's not coming, then that's probably not a relationship that's meant to be drawn out, because you're gonna go through things, and that's what strengthens the relationship, and that's how you guys learn each other, and that's how you build bonds that aren't gonna be easily broken. Let's see, what else would be. Oh, I will also say, don't just be if you want it to last, don't just be a group that only checks in with each other when y'all are going out somewhere. Because a healthy relationship, a healthy friendship is not just being there for the turn up, but it's also being there for when your dog's sick, your cousin just passed away, you just got a new job, you just lost your job, you don't have the finances to go out. Whatever the case is, be there through those times as well, because that's going to make the turn up that much greater, because now it's a genuine relationship. It's not just we just hang out. So, see you next week. Like, you don't want those kind of relationships. And I will give you guys one last tip, because I don't want this video to be too long. The last tip that I will give is to always have the full circle attitude. Everything comes back full circle. If you know that maybe a friend is going through a tough time or going through a drought, whatever the case is, if you guys are a real friend group and a tight friend group, y'all come together and say, you know what, I got 5 on it. I could contribute so that she could still come out. Or I could pick her up because maybe she's having car troubles. And then you could take her home, or we can do this, we can do that. Don't make your friends feel like a burden. Don't make them feel like they have to be left out because maybe this week they didn't have it, or next week they won't have it, or whatever the case is. If you really rock with this person, trust me, it's going to come back full circle, especially if they really, really rock with you. Also, if you say, okay, I just got paid and I can afford an extra $20 or extra $15 or extra $30, whatever the case is, so it's okay, girl, it's on me. Be one of those type of people, because that not only speaks to like, oh, you're good for a turn up, you're good for a hangout, but it also shows character. It shows that you actually care enough about this person to make sure that they still are able to have a good time. If you really rock with the people in your group, there should never be a reason why, oh, you can't come out, and the reason why is money. That should never be the reason. If it's because maybe I'm just not in a good headspace and I genuinely need time to myself, maybe I got my kids, I don't know, like something like that, then okay, fine. Some of those things can't be worked around. But if it can be worked around, and finances are one of those things that everyone can always add in $5 or whatever the case is. So don't let that be a reason. I do hope that this helps, because these are things that I actually implement. Like I always tell y'all, I don't preach anything that I don't practice. So with that being said, make sure you give y'all a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and comment. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and comment. And if your notifications are not on, please turn them on. Love you guys.